Mr. President, you remember that American Rescue Plan. I do too, because last year, in the year 2020, when we were facing this pandemic, on 2, 3, or 4 separate occasions, emergency bills came before us, proposed by the Trump administration, negotiated with a Democratic and Republican Congress, presented to us on the floor, and there was virtual unanimity. Both parties stood together in the midst of a pandemic crisis to do what was necessary so that America could move forward. And then came the election, and then came the big lie, and then came the disintegration of this bipartisanship. When it was Joe Biden's turn to come up with the American Rescue Plan, not a single Republican senator, not one Republican congressman would vote yes, not one. So what was in the plan that was so objectionable? Could it have been the money invested so that we would administer the coronavirus vaccines to every American successfully? That was in the plan. How about more money that we put in that plan for businesses so they could re-enlist their workforce and start up again at the end of this pandemic? That was in the plan. How about the money that we promised American families, $1,400 payment, cash payment, promised by Trump, delivered by Biden? That was in the plan, and not a single Republican would support it, not one. All of a sudden, rescue plans became a partisan measure in the United States Senate and the House. The Republicans walked away from it. Well, let me tell you what the American Rescue Plan has done. It has revived our nation's economy. We're on a course for a historic recovery. In the first 6 months, President Biden's economy has added nearly 700,000 jobs a month on average. During the first half of this year, our economy grew at the fastest rate in nearly 40 years. The American Rescue Plan, which not a single Republican would support, worked because it provided financial relief to the people who needed it the most, working families, and that relief has benefited everyone. As part of this package, and you know it full well, Senator, because you were one of the authors, we enacted a child tax credit that we believe, fingers crossed, will cut child poverty in America by half. Think of that for a moment, by half. With the Build Back Better plan, President Biden is proposing to extend that child tax credit and reduction in child poverty. It's not just a 6-month commitment as it was under the rescue plan. Under the Biden Build Back Better plan, it becomes permanent. That enhanced child tax credit is already changing the lives of tens of millions of families across America. In my home state of Illinois, there are hundreds of thousands of parents who are now able to fill their gas tanks and buy groceries because of it. Let me tell you about one. Lydia, here's what she wrote. With the child tax credit, I'll be able to buy my kids their school supplies, clothes, what they need to get back to school, and put groceries on the table. In the wealthiest nation on earth, no parent should have to choose between clothing her children and feeding them. President Biden's plan to Build Back Better is a blueprint for America's future, a future where every family knows the safety and dignity of financial security and every child can reach their full potential. I look forward to a vigorous debate in the Senate on these and other proposals in the budget blueprint. But right now I want to speak specifically to the funding the budget resolution provides for the committee I chair, the Senate Judiciary Committee. I see the chairman of that budget committee has come to the floor, Senator Sanders, and I thank you for crafting this important bill.